Hey, what is going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life and the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to each and every one of you. Man, I'm excited for you. Why? Because the market is doing what the market does, and you understand that. Why? Because you're an early adopter in this new asset class that is a digital asset space. You understand the sideways movement. You've been in this game since 2016 and 2017. You do not worry about the sideways movement and the volatility in this market. You have become, my friend, a seasoned investor, a seasoned hodler, seasoned DeFi-er. That is really, really cool. Listen, guys, I'm going to run through this video real quick. I got a pending transaction on the Ethereum freaking mainnet, and I gotta make sure it goes through before 3 o'clock today. So we want to make sure that stuff happens. All right, guys. So listen, this is your XRP Ripple daily news, and around 0 to 10 minutes, the Bitcoin dominance is at 39.5%. That's just not great. The overall cryptocurrency for altcoins, the overall cryptocurrency market cap is 1.93 trillion. It's up 2.7% on the 7-day. Bitcoin is currently trading at $40,108. XRP is trading at 64.6 cents. It's just not great right now in terms of the price for XRP. The market, guys, is doing what the market does. A lot of reds. ApeCoin still doing its thing. ApeCoin is not messing around. Now you guys are getting ready to, I love it. New 1%, ApeCoin, let's go. 39.7% on the 7-day. It is currently up to 23.53. $23.53. ApeCoin is the coin now from Bored Ape Yacht Club. They created a very, very nice ecosystem. And I heard they're going to do some land around it as well. So shout out to the new 1%. We need a new 1%. Guys, the market is doing what the market does. A lot of double figure reds. 25 to 30% for me is always a good time to enter. Not financial advice, just something what I do that I look to do in this market. Lido token is actually LDO. It's up here, up 27.5% on the 7-day, trading at $3.66. And the Meyer Dex MEX token is in the top 100 in terms of total market cap at $1,047,000,000. What the what? I'm proud to be part of that exchange and that DeFi ecosystem over there participating. That is a really, really cool deal. I want to cover something from Bill. We all know Bill at hashtag Belisarius, something like that. Hope I didn't mess that up too bad. He put something out here I think it's really, really cool. First of all, we all know what Stefan Huber covered earlier this morning. That's really, really cool, right? He found this little kind of agreement between JP Morgan, collaboration, I should say, JP Morgan, Alibaba, and Swift to get into the cross-border payment space that they was trying. That's what they were trying to do, guys. Ultimately, that's what they were trying to do. And the biggest competitor to them is Ripple, the digital asset XRP, the XRPL ledger, without question, are the competitors, and they know it. But let us not forget XRP, the asset, XRPL, the ledger, and the centralized exchange, and IOP, the Interledger Protocol, were around before Ethereum, doing its thing before Ethereum. We all know one technology is better than the other, right? We all know the XRP ledger technology with David Schwartz, Stefan Thomas, Arthur Britto, Jack McCabe, from all of that, right? Better than Ethereum. But I went down further in the thread here, and Bill put something out here. Hope you're doing well, Bill. We appreciate all that you have been doing for the community. Check this out from 2 attorneys that I mentioned in a tweet early today. It's on jdsuper.com. 2 attorneys, Arnell, Golden, Gregory, LLP. This article is the 5th in a multi-part series in which we explain how the SEC has structured this anti-crypto. So it says here, deconstructing the SEC's cryptocurrency suppression. To securities attorneys. Hidden problem with the SEC's crypto security. Introduction. This article is the 5th in a multi-part series in which we, looks like there's a link to that too, it's great, in which we explain how the SEC has structured its anti-cryptocurrency campaign, why the SEC has overreached its regulatory authority in attacking the creators of digital tokens and cryptocurrencies, and how to address the SEC's actions in this area. The SEC treats a digital token, including one that is not a security, in any obvious way as if it were a security. The result is that the original sale or resale of a cryptocurrency or other related blockchain product is considered unlawful if not registered in with the SEC. And again, this is something that Ripple and a team of lawyers recognized and decided to take the fight to them, while others decided not to take the fight. That's the bottom line. That's it. It's not a right or wrong. It's whether you're going to fight or not. That's just it. Are you going to fight or not? Are you in a position to fight or not? That's the bottom line. That's really it. Those who've chosen not to fight, they understand what the SEC is trying to do. And some really don't. Some really think that the SEC is right in what they're doing, which is a shame, because you get more and more security attorneys coming out and saying that the SEC is in fact stretching the rules in order to regulate the market, increase their jurisdiction, and notable congressmen, like I believe it was McHenry or Toomey, have recognized that as well. It's an overreach, and it's been that way for a while, and it's not uncommon amongst the alphabets in the government to do such a thing. It says here that this treatment is based on the fact that a digital token is invisible and intangible, lacks inherent value, can provide a buyer with one or more rights, and can be bought as an investment. These facts are not debatable, but the question is whether they are conditions that are sufficient to make something like a digital token a security under the applicable federal laws. In this article, we show why these are not sufficient conditions and why this causes significant hidden problems for the SEC's enforcement program in this area, particularly its misapplication of the Howey case to digital tokens and cryptocurrencies. Let me say that again. In this article, we show why these are not sufficient conditions and why this causes significant hidden problems for the SEC's enforcement program in this area, particularly its misapplication of the Howey case to digital tokens and cryptocurrencies. What is a security? Among other things, a security is a concept. Like other concepts, it isn't necessarily simple or intuitive. While one might recognize that a share of a stock is a security, that does not mean one understands why it is a security. This difference between recognizing a standard security, such as a share or a stock, and understanding what makes it a security has enabled the SEC to convince some attorney and judges that what the SEC calls digital assets, digital tokens on a blockchain, including crypto, are securities under the catch-all category of investment contract, even if they are not securities. We explain how this came about below. We will first describe several important properties of security and then discuss why the SEC is wrong in claiming that most digital assets are investment contract type securities. We will refer to the SEC's concept as crypto security for convenience. And this is Arnell Golden Gregory LLP, right? Securities lawyers, right? I'm not going to go through all of this. It says a security is invisible, a security is not necessarily secure, a security is a product, a bunch of stuff. I'm just going to get to the nitty gritty because again, I got to get something done here. But I wanted to go down here, and I'm going to scroll down this way because I should have it highlighted. Remember, they're referencing this discussion as crypto security, okay? And it looks like my highlight went away. The common enterprise requirement left confusion. The Howey enterprise caused the confusion. Where's I highlighted this there. Is it? Wait a minute, I just saw it. There it is right there. All right, right here. What is the SEC's crypto security? In the area of digital tokens and cryptocurrencies, the SEC has relied on the confusion around the common enterprise prong of Howey and the consequential problem of finding the possible registrant to expand the meaning of investment contract by introducing an untenable conception of an enterprise. The result is the so far successful, if unlawful, expansion of its statutorily limited jurisdiction. It's a powerful statement. They recognize that this move has been so far successful, but they also suggest unlawful expansion of a statutorily limited jurisdiction. And we know what the SEC is kind of trying to reach out to the CFTC. We've heard prominent congressmen and state that they recognize that the SEC is limited. We just read that in its jurisdiction. We just read that Monica Long actually commented on some proposals to the SEC, and essentially it was to let the SEC know that she and the people at I think it's AMA, I think it's called Adams, right? Recognize that they have limited jurisdiction, if any, in digital assets, and they're acknowledging that they know it, and they're letting them know it. Yeah, I saw when I read that. Check that video out. Monica Long went in, as we like to say, on the SEC. So the SEC's new conception of enterprise ignores the requirements that the common enterprise be, number one, a for-profit business, number two, the transferor of sets of rights to its assets. And it's a massive one, and the SEC refuses to acknowledge it. In other words, if you own XRP, do you own Ripple stock by owning XRP? And we all know the answer to that is heck no, we don't, right? So the transfer set of rights to its assets, to the profit of the a for-profit business assets. We do not have, Ripple is a for-profit business. We do not have rights to its assets because we hold a cryptocurrency, XRP, including the proportions of assets classified as contributed capital and earned capital to its investors. An accounting entity that can issue financial statements and for a possible registrant, and therefore the flyer of its financial statements. By ignoring these requirements, the SEC has also ignored the very function of registration, which is to give those who may buy security information about the value of that security that derives from the financial condition and performance of its creator, the issuer. In order to extend its jurisdiction to enforce laws that are limited to only a genuine security, the SEC has studiously avoided defining the enterprise in its cryptocurrency and utility token enforcement cases. A review of the cases the SEC has filed, however, reveals that the loosely identified enterprise in those cases is nothing more than a project to build an online platform on which one can use cryptocurrencies or utility tokens. The digital tokens themselves give their buyers no rights to, number one, any assets of the project used to build the platform. Let me say that again. The digital tokens themselves give their buyers no rights to any assets of the project used to build the platform. Number two, the platform itself, whether completed or not. Let me say it again. The digital tokens themselves gives the buyer no rights Number two, the platform itself, whether completed or not, this whole decentralized, fully built out, not fully built out crap, or revenues, earnings, or profits that the platform, if owned, may generate for its true owner. The digital tokens certainly do not provide their holders with any direct or indirect rights to the assets of the producers of the tokens. Such a producer already has its own capital structure with its own debt holders and shareholders, which really makes me surprised that, there wasn't more of a fight by people in position to make a fight, because it's clear such a producer already has its own capital structure with its own debt holders and shareholders. So as demonstrated, the SEC's cryptocurrency suppression program should ultimately fail in court when judges squarely confront the fact that the SEC has built its program on a foundation of sand. This, of course, requires litigants to properly frame the issue so that the courts possess the requisite context to analyze the crypto securities that the SEC claims should be registered under the Securities Act. When litigants do so, courts will note that unless the digital tokens are in fact designed to confer such rights, the digital tokens do not confer rights to the assets or revenue of any business, enterprise, formal or informal. This right there, and it's black and white. The challenge is who has the means and necessary to challenge the SEC. And the SEC knows that. Accordingly, they are not securities, and the purposes for registration. So accordingly, the digital tokens are not securities, and the purposes for registration under the security laws fail to apply. And what they're trying to do, what the SEC is trying to do, is stretch this enterprise thing. And we all know that's what they're trying to do. But then they want to throw in investor protection. And what that does is it confuses you. Investor protection and what's the other thing that they like to use besides investor protection, the SEC? Oh, all the illegal stuff going on. They want to highlight the scams and the rug pulls. Put it under our jurisdiction. We'll take care of it. Right. So, of course, none of this is to say that the digital tokens and cryptos may not be regulated. Of course, they should be regulated by anyone, nor that fraudulent activities in the sale of marketing or such tokens are immune from prosecution. That is not the case. This discussion only explains that the SEC has strayed beyond its jurisdictional remit in claiming to be the primary regulator of all digital assets, as it is currently doing. The SEC's program is not stopping fraud, or at least is not only stopping fraud. Rather, the SEC is actively interfering in the development of a new industry and imposing inapplicable regulatory requirements to force digital token producers to either change their business model or cease doing business. Prime example of that is the Celsius network. And again, I say to you, if Celsius network, the monster, is taking do you get that they're taking liquidity from JP Morgan, from Goldman Sachs, from Citi? Do you get that? Right? Giving you and I the position to walk away from 0.01% in interest. Do you get that? That's what Celsius was able to do in just under 4 short years, I believe. You got to get that. Why else would they usher Hashtag Gary Gensler to the front of the room. Who do you think ushered, again, who do you think ushered him into the front of the room? Do you think that the current administration put out an ad? No, someone ushered this dude to the front of the room. Who do you think did that? His boys at Goldman's, JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. Let me read it again. This is such a great part. The SEC's program is not stopping fraud, or at least it's not only stopping fraud. Rather, the SEC is actively interfering in the development of a new industry, which is the digital asset space, and imposing inapplicable regulatory requirements to force digital token providers or producers to either change their business model or cease doing business. Do you realize what happened with Celsius when they transitioned from every single person having access to them and their earning program to now only accredited investors? This is US only. Do you realize how they shook up that business model? That was the SEC's sole intent. To us, says the people from this law firm, who's securities lawyers, to us, this seems rather far afield of the SEC's mission as delineated in its enabling statutes. Great job. This is a great article, guys. I mean, it's awesome. Guys, listen, I'm going to end this video like I do all my videos and remind you guys of this, that old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I are already winning. Hey, Bill, thanks a lot, bro. That's a great article, man. Great read. All right, guys, listen, enjoy the rest of the day. I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.